The other day I saw a DraftKings advertisement featuring LeBron James and Kevin Hart. And if you don't know, DraftKings is basically a gambling website. Sports betting, live betting, casino, a gambling website. And while they were doing this little skit, right, it immediately dawned on me that when it comes to winning in society, when it comes to obtaining power, success, money, there really is never enough. And that there really is no morality when it comes to getting to the very top. Because think about this, right? And maybe I shouldn't say this, but it's whatever. But LeBron James is a billionaire. Kevin Hart is worth well over hundreds of millions of dollars. But whether it's 10 million, 20 million, however much they get upfront for a gambling sponsorship, whatever that flat fee is does nothing to change the quality of their life. But yet you're promoting something that's literally one of the most dangerous addictions that your audience is susceptible to. Because gambling ruins lives, right? You never win, and it's a billion-dollar industry for a reason. As a matter of fact, it's one of the fastest growing industries. It's also closely tied with alcohol abuse, substance abuse, drug abuse, sex addiction, etc. So you're a billionaire selling out for a few tens of millions that won't change the quality of your life whatsoever. And you also have legions of young teenage kids that look at you as God. So by you promoting gambling, you inevitably will get some of them addicted to sports betting and gambling. But the reality is that these people don't care at all. You're just a number to them. You see, everybody sells out a little bit, whether you're compromising your values to keep your job, compromising your beliefs to be accepted in a friend group and have friends. Maybe you're compromising your perspectives to hook up with some girl. Maybe pretend that you voted for Kamala. Like whatever it is, right? We've all sold bits and pieces of our souls here and there. But the goal in living an authentic life is to be as close to your morals, values, and beliefs as possible. And to always try to make a conscious effort to do so. So maybe a guy that's homeless, right? It would kind of make sense for him to sell out for money. Because he's quite literally trying to survive day by day. And bro, I hate it when they have dogs like they're right outside of a grocery store. Because there's absolutely no way that you can just ignore a sad, hungry dog. So you'd think that being a billionaire, you would have no reason to sell out, right? But apparently that's not the case, as we know. And that's when it really dawned on me, and this isn't even about them, right? This isn't even about LeBron or the Meerkat. But it makes you look at the game of capitalism. And trust me, I'm for capitalism. I believe in a meritocracy. But it makes you look at all the people at the top. All the people at the top of the game. And it's really apparent as to why they're so successful. Because they remove morality when it comes to winning. I'm not saying that they can't do philanthropic things here and there. I'm sure they do. But when it comes to the game, when it comes to getting to the top, when it comes to winning in the game, there really is no morality. You see, there's no secret when it comes to being rich and successful in America, in the game of capitalism. The secret's out. It's not having a job or a career. It's your ability to take money from someone else. That's it. And attention is the greatest currency. In other words, basically having a business, right? Having the ability to produce or to sell a good or product or service. Nobody becomes truly wealthy through salary. Let me give you a clear example, right? Working in the government, politicians, right? The presidential salary is about $400K. Senators like Elizabeth Warren, she makes around $285K. Or the Secretary of State, right, makes around $250. And that's really good money, right? 6 figures. But all of these people somehow leave the office with net worths of tens of millions, sometimes even hundreds of millions. Like the very lovely Hillary Clinton. And that's on top of all the assets and mansions worth millions all over the country they have. Again, W Pocket watching? And you really gotta ask yourself why that is. Why people with a 6-figure salary, how they can enter office and all of a sudden come out with hundreds of millions of dollars. Maybe they're just really good at investing their money like Nancy Pelosi, right? I mean, let's be real here. Or for example, why do you think every single politician writes some book as soon as they get a little bit of governmental clout? The key to wealth in capitalism is having a business. And a lot of people are starting to catch on, right? That's why there's such a dissatisfaction for the 9 to 5. A lot of people are trying to look for a way out. Like most people in the top 1%, they're all business owners in some way, shape, or form. Or they somehow leverage what they do into having a business. And to get to the top, to have the most profit, by definition, you have to remove morality somewhere along the line. You have to look at your consumers or fans as numbers, and that's exactly what they do. It's like you think LeBron James or Kevin Hart, when they're filming a gambling sponsorship, they're thinking about teens getting addicted to sports betting. When you see the ad while you're watching his game, you think they care? You think it really crosses their mind? Of course not. That's the game of capitalism. To profit the most, you have to remove morality. It would be smart or in your best interest to collaborate with as many corporations as possible. If you start thinking about, oh, gambling is bad for people, or pornography is bad for people, or maybe I shouldn't take a McDonald's sponsorship because it gives a lot of people diabetes, then they would be severely diminishing their profits. And again, there really is never enough. So why am I saying this, right? What's the point? What's the silver lining? Because really this isn't about them or any famous person or even capitalism for that matter. The point of me saying all this is to be out for yourself, genuinely. Like, do what's best for you, because there's a lot of things in this world, in our society, that's meant to do nothing but distract and to take from you. And to essentially leave you with nothing, because really the only people that lose are the people at the bottom. And remember, your attention is your greatest asset. Where attention goes, time and energy flows. And your attention is what every single business is fighting for. It's just up to you to deem what's valuable and what's not. Like even your employers, right? They do what's best for them, not what's best for you. Their objective is to pay you the least while getting the most out of you. That's how businesses run. That's how they operate. That's what the goal of a business is, to maximize profit. When it comes to the game, they don't care about you. They'll fire you or lay you off as soon as paying you is an inconvenience. As soon as it's a net negative or for budget cuts or whatever the reason. They don't really care about your family. So that's what I mean when I say be out for yourself. Do what's best for you as long as you don't compromise your morals, your values, or your beliefs. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have your soul, then you don't have anything. There's a rejection of materialism and authenticity that's really needed in society right now. Remember, this life is temporary. Do what's best for you, but don't sell your soul. Like no matter how tempting it is, you have to keep your soul intact as much as possible. Because we all reach the same end, and how you live your life is going to be the most important. The only judge that's going to matter is God, and none of us are perfect, right? And in a society that pushes us to seek materialism and greed, it's hard to stay right by what you believe. But I'd like to think that intention still matters, and that's what God is going to look at the most. Because we all sin, right? But where your heart is, where your intention is, that's something that can never be hidden. And the reason why I went so hard on the gambling is because it's something that I know is objectively bad. And it's not like I was ever addicted, but I was like, I can see how this can ruin your life. Like bro, just read the gambling subreddit. It's like the saddest thing ever. I was just lucky because I've never had an addictive personality. But I've won thousands of dollars overnight, and I've also lost thousands of dollars overall. Even back when I was like a broke college student. And the scariest part about it was seeing that money hit the bank account, that didn't even feel like anything. But losing that money, that felt like something. And then chasing that money and then winning it back sometimes. You know, those extreme highs and lows that make you feel something, that's what gets you addicted. Like most of these people just want to feel something in their life, and that's why I can sympathize. I know what it's like to lose and then it just ruins your whole week where you're in a bad mental state, you're having bad thoughts, and negative energy is just permeating off you. And all you can think about is getting that next high, placing parlays, and being glued to your screen. You know, watching all these pointless games for hours on end just to feel the high of winning or despair of losing. And listen, I'm Chinese, right? Gambling is in my blood. Like my parents are gamblers, it definitely runs in the family. If you're Chinese, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But what really got me to stop was when I started reading all these stories about people being down 35,000, negative balance, wanting to delete themselves, you know, in Minecraft. You know, these guys would talk about quitting and then relapsing all over again in like a week or two. Like so many people are promoting all these negative things like pornography as well, right? And again, no one cares. Everybody is trying to sell you on something, and that's essentially the game. It's just the way society is molding culture, and everyone is trying to win at all costs. There's going to be less and less morality in the game. And let's be honest, right? Most consumers, especially in America, and by the way, I love America, I love this country, I love being American, but damn, there is a lot of dumb people. I mean, you still have people buying courses on drop shipping and e-commerce and copywriting, as if there isn't just endless amounts of free information on the internet. And you have people still buying crypto tokens from influencers. Like, it's more surprising to me that there's more of a focus on influencers that are scamming. Like, yeah, they took a flat fee from a company to make a meme coin and then rug pull their fans, right? Basically the exact thing I've been talking about this entire video. Like, there's more of a focus or surprise about that than consumers actually being dumb enough to invest every single time. Like, not to be harsh, but how do you have a functioning brain and see the same thing over and over again and still do the exact same thing? And then get angry or get mad when people still fall for it. Like bro, it's almost like you deserve it at that point. But yeah, basically be out for yourself, but also never sell your soul because you can't take it with you. As far as the, oh, but I want generational wealth like some of these billionaires say as an excuse. I mean, listen, I understand wanting them to be safe and secure, but why would you want to give your kids millions so they never have to work? They would just become pieces of shit in the world or idiots with no deeper sense of self. Like genuinely, if you look at some of these celebrity kids, they're just a bunch of entitled idiots. Like yeah, obviously you want to make sure that they're fed and taken care of. Like that's your job as a parent. But why would you want to give your kids all this money, all these millions so they never have to work? It's like you would want them to develop character and to get it on their own. Anyways, I hope you're doing well, hope you're on your goals, but also make sure that you're enjoying the process along the way. As much as we all want to grind and we all want to make it, it's important not to forget that. Make sure to smile along the way, or at least try to find reasons to smile. Let's try to go up together the right way. Anyways, thank you for listening. Make sure you stay true, and I'll talk to you real soon. Peace.